Hi guys, I hope that you're doing well and that you had a great spring break. We had an assignment last week where I asked you to start an experiment with bread, and one slice of bread didn't have any hand washing, and the other slice of bread had 30 seconds of hand washing. And the whole point of that was to set up this unit on the scientific method. And so we're going to talk today and tomorrow about a thesis statement and independent and dependent variables. So if you look here on your first slide, you'll see that a thesis statement is a short statement, usually one sentence, that summarizes the main point or claims of an essay, research paper, or scientific experiment. And for our experiment, we're going to put it into an if-then statement. So my example for you guys is if I feed 10 chickens a 20% high protein feed, then they will have more muscle at butchering compared to the 10 chickens being fed 15% or a low protein feed. So what I want you to be able to do, your learning target, is to be able to develop your own if-then thesis statement. And this is important because it allows you as a researcher to know exactly what you are testing. So tomorrow, April 1st, the first thing I want you guys to do is I want you to put your own if-then statement right here in this box that pertains to that bread assignment that we did. And I put our examples of the chicken feed in here for you. I forgot that I had actually changed it to say 250 instead of 10. And the reason for that is the more times you replicate a experiment, the more accurate your data is. So if we just did 10 chickens, most likely that data would only be partially correct because we didn't do it enough times to prove the data that we are receiving. Then for Thursday, we're going to talk about independent and dependent variables. So if you see here, an independent variable is the factor that you are changing to control or see what the effect is. So our example of our chicken feed, our independent variable would be the protein level of the chicken feed because we are changing that and looking for a result. Our dependent variable is going to respond to the independent variable. So this is something that's going to depend on the independent variable. So in this example here, the amount of meat that we get from our chickens, or the weight of the meat of the chicken after it's butchered, depends on the protein level of the feed. So our dependent variable would be the meat that we yield from those chickens. So on Thursday, what I want you to do is I want you to look at your thesis statement for the bread, and I want you to tell me what your independent variable is for the bread experiment and what your dependent variable is for the bread experiment. And then you can turn it in. So when I post this on Classroom, I've made a copy for each kid. So you are able to put your answers right into that PowerPoint and turn it in from there. I hope that you guys are having a good week. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email or a message on Classroom, and I'm happy to respond as quickly as I can. So have a good evening.